I am well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very well.
Okay.
May I please register for HASA, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Could just start by introducing yourself.
Thank you very much, Steve. My name is Mandla Nxumalo. I hope you will, by the end of this session, you will attempt to actually pronounce my surname.
Okay.
I'm born, raised, trained, and live in the Kingdom of Eswatini. I am currently the managing director of a company called Instacash, which has its deep roots in this country. That's why I'm here today. How it has its deep roots here is in 2018, I came to the same city to actually look for a platform to set up a mobile money business in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We met with Directcore Technologies, a gentleman called Francis Adunga. We spent quite a lot of time trying to formulate a plan on how it was going to be. The interesting part of it all, we were and are still the only non-telco player in our market. So it took us quite a lot of time to actually get a licensing, because no one could understand how we could work around the whole thing without being a telco. So that's why our licensing took quite a bit. We took a lot of learnings through it, but we have worked as partners with Directcore, which came from a market where it is the home of such mobile money platforms, and that's how we got to be. So we currently work closely and get a lot of support from here. So this is a courtesy visit today, just to see how we can take it to the next level and look at other opportunities, look at other directions we could take to actually expand within the kingdom and possibly in other territories that we could work with. So the dynamics, basically, it's a mobile money platform that is running in the kingdom. It's a third player, but it's the first non-telco, which has also changed the environment in how the regulation is done, because after we got into the market, all the telco players in the space had to actually work on new regulations. So you had to split your telco from your mobile money business, because there was now a player that is actually a non-telco in the space. So yeah, that's just about the history. We started here in 2018 and took it down south to Eswatini, to a point where we still are partners. We still are working together to support and grow the business. Okay, my background is primarily in finance. It's finance business. So after my BCom degree in accounting, I spent a lot of time in auditing. So working primarily with auditing businesses in financial services, so your banks, your insurance companies. So that's why I sort of got it to be interested in actually anything that is finance related, banking related. So I also worked for Standard Bank as a credit manager for some time, and then as a relationship manager, just building businesses and helping structure transactions for different businesses in different sectors. I also then joined a local investment firm that also works with the pension funds in Eswatini. And again, it was in multi-sectoral. So we work with micro lenders, we work in forestry, we work in, recently we are working in building an oncology center, a school, private school, Also, the second telco in Eswatini, we were involved in setting it up. So we do a lot of work around that. So Instacash is one of those that are under that sort of portfolio of investments that we are looking at. So I'm interested in financial systems. I'm interested in anything around finance because I still am very much involved in investment banking with this as part of the portfolio. It's not the only thing that is part of the portfolio that we are actually managing.
How were you able to pivot from financial background to tech space?
It is at this point I'm not purely tech, but I learned to understand what they work on, because at the end of the day you start on how you can make money out of any business that is being set up, whether it's tech, whether it's forestry, whether it's hospitality like this, whether at the end of the day, it's about how to make money. And then once you start there, you work backwards and say, okay, in tech, this is how tech makes money. And I don't try to become more technical than the technical people, but I bring in the element of business into that. You know, you've sat with tech people that actually spend their entire lives trying to make the perfect solution, which is actually goes beyond people's head. It happens a lot. How many other inventions that you have ever seen, innovations that you have ever seen that never saw the light of day? So we balance each other, especially when you have a partner like we have. We balance each other because I come from business, they come from tech. So if we're working together, we actually find the balance. And the reason I was raising all the other sectors that I work with, I've never planted a tree in my life. But I learned to get someone that understands how to plant a tree, and I bring in the business aspect, and we find each other. We've set up the second telco in Eswatini. I didn't know anything about telco. I just learn, find someone who's a specialist in it, bring the business part of it, and try to find a solution that actually makes money. So I juggle around a lot, but it is important to find people that actually understand the subject matter, and you just they in as much as I don't know as much tech as they do, they also don't know how much investments is to
you play with the figures.
We play with the figures. So it's an interesting space, and it's very dynamic. So you have to continually try and learn more and more, but also with balance. We have about 1.2 million people in the whole country, the entire country. So if you look at your unemployment stats, we are looking at just about under 30% formally employed, which tells you how many people can walk into a bank today and open a bank account. Then it tells you how many are unbanked. And so when you looked at that market and said, okay, this is a space that there is potential for growth if you develop a lot of, if you give yourself a lot of time to develop specific products and services for that aspect. The less than 30% people that can be banked are served by 5 banks, 3 South African banks, and then 2 local banks. So you see, if 5 are looking at just under 30%, and you have only 3 now in this space that we are in that are looking after 70%. So we felt there was scope, and if we felt like if we were going to do it, we must find a partner that is from a country where it has matured and where all the lessons have gone through, and so that we can be able to pick it up and take it forward from there. So it was a combination of what we saw on the ground on our side, and also what we had seen this side. So we tried to find someone specifically from here, not from another country. For that reason, there are learnings here, there are continued learnings, and if we could get someone with a platform that could support us, then that was what made sense to us. It was quite difficult in the sense that the 2 that had been licensed in the space were telcos. So when you're trying to work out, no, you don't need to be a telco. There's a workaround. You can work on a USSD channel or a mobile app. It's not as straightforward, especially because it had been done before, and you're trying to sort of reinvent the wheel to a certain extent. So it was tough, but I think our regulator is. I would still commend them because we eventually found each other and we worked together very well today. So it is something that helped. It also changed it changed the regulation in the market so that we play on a level playing field. So all the telcos now with mobile banking platforms are separated from the core telco business. So it's easier to regulate. So the central bank is looking after your mobile money platforms. The telcos are regulated elsewhere. So it made it much neater. So in essence, our introduction in the market actually followed primarily the lessons from here to actually separate it from the other. For ease of regulation, how do you regulate someone with multiple licenses? It becomes unfair, also very difficult, impractical to a certain extent.
What is your market standing right now in terms of market share where you operate in Eswatini?
This September,
yes,
we will be 2 months in market now.
Oh, wow.
2 years, sorry. 2 years. 2 years in market this September. So I think we started on the 9th of September 2 years ago, going fully into market. So it was pilot before that. It was just the setting up before that since the time that I said. So we came in as the third player and the first non-telco. But in terms of number of registrations, at this point, I think we are second in the market already, but we are driving transactions. That's our drive now, just push transactions because we have access to a number of people. So we started as third. I think I can reasonably say in terms of number of people on our platform, we are second already.
How are the numbers looking like? Like guys who've actually onboarded your platform currently? We are over in the last 2 years.
Yeah, we're over 200,000 on the platform, which is a number that we would like much more. But I think business has taught us to be patient in different aspects. 200,000 of a population of full population is 1.2 million.
Yeah, so to have 200, that is quite
in 24 months. It's good, and we are seeing traction in terms of people starting to use the platform much more as we add more things and develop more products that are useful to the people. At this moment, I think we would look at around $700,000 a month that we are moving. But it's on an upward trajectory. As I'm saying, for us, we had to first deal with elements of being new in the market, non-telco, with credibility. Do people believe in who are these people? Will they believe in the platform first? Because the other players, they already came as telcos with a bigger name in another space. So for us, Instacash is a name that we set down and say, okay, let's become Instacash now. So there's no bigger brother elsewhere. So it's something that we picked up from scratch and started to build from there. Yeah, so it's about 700,000 a month, and it's not a number that we are so excited about, but it's on the right trajectory.
Yeah, but it's pretty impressive considering you've only been in the market for 24 months.
24 months,
thereabout.
Yeah.
How do you anticipate the market to look like maybe in by the time you'll be turning 5 years? What are your projections looking like?
We are looking at market share of something like 30 to 40%. That's where we look at ourselves in the medium term. And then over long term, then we can know. But medium term I think it's realistic to get to 30 to 40% of the entire market. I'm happy with what we have done. When we set out in the beginning, we were looking for about 4 pillars of products that we wanted on the platform that we continually build on and have a checklist on. So we wanted transactional products, obviously, send money and all those bulk disbursements and all collections, all those things. We wanted savings on the platform. We haven't really gotten there. It's one of those that we highlight and say, okay, what is the best savings product that we can link to our platform for people to actually put up much more on the side. We have insurance. About 4 months ago, we launched the best funeral insurance in the country in partnership with Liberty Life. So in our currency, which is Lilangeni pegged to the rand, it's about 15 Emalangeni, which is half of everyone else in the market. So it's done fully on our platform, no paper. So we are the first one to do it in that space. So it's about $1 to cover you for 10,000 rands. 10,000 rands would be about how much now? It's about $1 a month. So you get a decent cover for now. So it's the first in our platform, it's the first across for anyone to do it. We are still looking at loans. We're still looking at it, but we are being cautious around it. We don't want to drive instant loans at this point, but there are certain ones that would want to actually bring in on the platform that could help. So it's driven by what the people actually, the unbanked need, but within reason, to actually make it better and better. There is so much scope in terms of your insurances. If you're saying you've come in the market 2 years ago, but have come up with a dynamic product that you can actually still grow, there's still life policies that we could bring on the platform. There is still medical insurance that we could still bring on the platform. So in engagement with a number of insurers, just to package it nicely for our kind of market. What is critical for us though is keeping it at a limit where you don't have to require an additional step of approval or an additional, it has to be sort of instant on the platform. If you can start and finish the registration process of a product, it makes it easier for us because of the kind of people that we don't want you to still go to town to go and register for something. You must be able to have the convenience where you stay. So that's the kind of impact that we want to bring into the space. We have not rolled out because when we looked at our market and how people have responded to the microloans that are there, the repayments have not been at the right level. So we are trying to structure it in a way that it doesn't put someone in a hole that they can't come out. So I know that we've debated a lot of times because there's the month-end loan that you can pay, but there is also that overdraft element. So the concepts are there, but you're trying to monitor the market, how it responds to them before we could actually plunge onto it. But in terms of capabilities, we have, but we are treading on a cautious layer.
So it's something in the pipeline.
It has been on the pipeline from day one.
Okay.
It's just the timing and how you want to structure it. The Eswatini business is sort of a case study for all of us, being us and our partners, for us to have it as a platform to build into the region. We are making inroads into the region, but we have not started actually having an operation in all those parts. Remember what the other thing that you need to understand about the market down south is quite interesting. Momo tried to set up in South Africa, and didn't succeed because of the dynamics of that market. So we have taken those lessons. We have taken lessons from here and try to work out a balance in between to make sure that we are able to actually make an impact in our space. As you asked me today, we are ready to move into those markets. We already have contacts on the ground, so there is some setup work that are there. But we had to take those examples from past successes and past failures in the space. It never succeeded, and we know now why it never succeeded, and how we can get around that to actually be able to become the big player that we want to be in that space. So that in terms of timelines, we are looking, the reason I'm also is just for that, we are looking at 24 to 60 months to have made quite a move in that space. The main partner that we have here is Directcore Technologies. They are the provider, service provider for us for our system that we are using to run the business in Eswatini. So they're the developer, they provide support, and we also on the business front, we actually work on strategies together to actually roll out what is relevant for the market. So Directcore is our main partner here that we work with here and in Eswatini. So yeah.
If you are to get the correct exact number, like who are the most consumers of your product, with AI you're able to get the correct, almost correct number. Is it something you would consider as a company?
We are all
deploy it?
Yeah, at different levels we are already using it.
Okay.
At different levels, some basic example to run a module on a loan, how much loan you can get.
Yes.
I must have sort of a trend of how you are transacting at this point for you to qualify for that. To a certain extent, to be able to see what type of product is being used much more, instead of calculating in your normal, you use a lot of machine learning to actually inform which direction the business should be going.
Okay.
The question is, no one can run away from it. We need it. We are using it to a certain extent already, but the question is to what extent? That's where the question will always be. No one can avoid AI for across all businesses actually, because it helps you sort of, without trying to predict the future, there is no way you can actually reasonably grow your business in the right direction.
How safe is your platform?
It's as safe as it comes. I think we have an audit again next week. We have one annually. So we are regulated by the central bank in Eswatini. So we have gotten quite good reviews around it. But we continually add features. We had meetings yesterday confirming we had a migration into a much safer system over the last week, so that we keep adding more safety features that guarantee people's monies are safe. It's a sensitive space that you play in, so safety is much more important. It's a continuous program to actually develop safety features, because in as much as you develop your products, they are also developing skills to actually access it more. So it's always a high priority in especially in our space. When there's money involved, it becomes it attracts. Everyone wants money, so it attracts much more risk of that happening. For most of my life, I've been in corporate business, investment banking. This business is more retail now. Each person that transacts makes sense. So you need 200,000, you need 400,000 people suddenly. Whereas in corporate, we deal with maybe a board at most, or a certain decision maker to actually push a transaction across. This actually I had to learn first. Manja, you're not the target market for your product. So if I think if I think about myself trying to design a product for someone that is unbanked, it won't work. So I have to unlearn thinking through my own eyes and understanding what the target market or what the customer wants, and then formulating it the way they want it. So it became sort of, even for the entire team, saying, guys, stop. It is not about you. Let's go and research much more and hear what the people want and how they want to run it. So for me, that's the biggest lesson, moving from what I know completely to a different part. But I'm enjoying it. I've seen quite a lot of growth in terms of even relating with people. This is not a product where you sit in your office upstairs in a corner office, and you must interact with people, understand what they want, and build the products to be convenient primarily and to be people-centered. And that's how you actually break into it. So those are big lessons. The triumphs, obviously, being an non-telco coming into the space, getting licensed, getting to become a recognized player in the space. We are currently running we are currently the only mobile money platform that is running tests with the central bank for new products like your digital currency, and we have developed. Yeah, and we have done it on a USSD platform, or USSD sort of platform, which is one of the first ever to actually do that. So it's a testing stage. Everyone is happy about it. Our national payment switch, we are the one that is testing on behalf of the ones in the space. We are the newest, but we are running these projects with the central banks. So those are triumphs for us, because coming from 24 months ago, but you are now a key stakeholder in as much as your regulator is. The reason I was in Kenya from last week, I was in Diani. There was a conference where we were invited by the Central Bank of Eswatini with other countries to actually discuss more around your money laundering thing. So we are a recognized player in the space. We are no longer just that. So those are the things that have been quite encouraging. We've learned quite a lot. It's a new space, and it's having we are not part of a group. So everything we must decide around and try and build it for ourselves. Having the best, I made an example of the insurance product. We are the newest, but we have the best currently. I'm not afraid to say it's the best, because it's half of the next player in the game in terms of premium. It's also in terms of your waiting periods, it's at half of the next player. So it became something completely new. Everyone is looking at how they missed that, but a new player could actually come in, and we are still building a number of things. So for us to be actually where we are before is quite a big triumph for us. I've had quite a lot of support actually from the developer, and it has helped. The relationship has helped us to actually get to where we want to come. It's far from where we want to get to, but we are happy with where we are. Agility allows you to actually, when you see something is not working, change it. But if we're part of a bigger group, it has to go back to head office in Kenya for a decision. And when it's rolled out, it starts with a bigger market first before the smallest market. So by then it's 24 to 60 months before a change can be made. For us, we can call each other and say, please change this, it's not working. Yeah. So it's helping us to actually move quicker in a number of things. So I would put agility at the top in what gives us competitive advantage. We have set a foundation on being customer-centric. I think for us it's critical. I still go on the ground and meet people in the villages. I go there and play soccer with them today when we are driving our activation, so that we are grounded on where the people are. I think once we keep that at the core of what we do, and continually get what they need to be improved, it will keep us grounded, definitely. It is a culture that I wanted to cultivate from day one. I still go on activations after all this time. I go, until as we grow with the people, so they never forget that. I think it's a lesson that I wanted to teach them, and I wanted it to be at the center of our culture. I can't say it's very easy. However, from a personal basis, starting my career where I started helped. In audit, you get reviewed, you get feedback per client completed. So you don't do annual performance reviews. If you do a job in a month or two weeks, there must be a review from someone senior. So you are used to getting that feedback as frequently as possible. So by the time it got to this, which is now, it's almost 20 years ago I did that, feedback comes to me for purposes of fixing something, not for purposes of hurting my feelings. I don't get hurt by that, because when I started, I was 21 then. So imagine trying to audit a section and then someone comes in with a lot of queries. It makes you feel bad then, but it grows you over time. So you can tell me anything, I will pick it up and actually try and make better out of it, because I learned at a younger stage to actually accept feedback, negative and positive. So it helped. It helped me. Now that you raise it, actually I've seen it much more. Right now it's helping me more now than it did then, because now it happens 7 times out of 10, something negative comes. What will you do? Shut down. Spreading into the region. Straightforward. Eswatini is small enough to give you a perfect case study. Because it's of the size. We are 17,400 square meters. We have 1.2 million people. You can make things happen and then take that learning and go to a much bigger market. Imagine trying to set up a business this size here in Nairobi alone.
You'd struggle, right?
You struggle.
True.
Trying to pilot a product here. You will struggle. So it's a perfect place to leapfrog into other places. So I don't see us being just Instacash of Eswatini now.